little bit about, thank you. So this panel is brought to you by the IMALS Right Stuff team and Bridging Voice. The Right Stuff is a group of volunteers passionate about using writing to heal, raise ALS awareness, and share their stories. Bridging Voice, sorry, I messed that up. I practiced this, guys. The Right Stuff is a group of volunteers passionate about using writing to heal, raise ALS awareness, and share their stories. Bridging Voice enables and empowers people with ALS to communicate by removing the barriers between them and assistive technology. If you'd like to learn more about the Right Stuff team or join us, please sign up here. And Emily's going to put the link to sign up for the Right Stuff team in the chat. And then she's also going to put the blog that the Right Stuff team puts out in the chat as well. And I think that covers everything from a logistical point of view. So let's get started. This is the third session in our Eyegaze panel series. If you missed the first two, they are on our YouTube channel, the IMALS YouTube channel. We'll also send today's recording to everyone who signed up for this panel once we've uploaded it to YouTube. And so today we're going to focus on creative ways to use your Eyegaze technology beyond communication. So I'm going to hand it over to Emily, who will be our moderator.
Thanks, Julie. Hello, everyone. My name is Emily Sorbonne, and I will be your moderator tonight. Before our panelists introduce themselves, I'd like to provide a brief explanation of Eyegaze technology for those who couldn't attend our introductory session. Eyegaze is an assistive technology that allows users to control various devices, such as computers, tablets, smartphones, and environmental control systems, by tracking their eye movements. This technology enables individuals to navigate menus, browse the internet, send emails, and operate smart home devices, enhancing their independence and quality of life. Eyegaze can also be used to operate power wheelchairs, collaborate with researchers, and stay active in society. It provides access to online information, including news, educational resources, and social media platforms, keeping users informed, entertained, and connected. It can be used to paint, develop a podcast, operate a power wheelchair, control the lights in your home, adjust the thermostat, open and close doors, create maps and apps, and probably so much more. Now let me introduce our panelists for the evening. We have Charlie, Sparrow, and Randy. They will each provide a brief introduction. Sparrow, would you like to start?
I believe we have a video from Sparrow to intro with, so I will open that up and I will share my screen. Right, we can try to click share sound. All right, here we go.
Hi, I'm Spiro Coloris. Well, actually, Spiro's avatar. Real Spiro can't speak intelligibly anymore because the nasty, thieving ALS monster reached out this summer and stole his voice. That's him behind me, in his office. Spiro is an old Silicon Valley engineer that was diagnosed with limb-onset ALS in 2019. While gradually losing arm and hand function, he experimented with several adaptive mice and keyboards in addition to Eyegaze. He wasn't really satisfied by the products he tried, so he started autonomous living technologies to build affordable assistive tech. He offers advice counter to many others.
If you are adept at picking up new technologies, don't rush into Eyegaze. Once you need it, buy the latest and greatest. Don't get stuck with a 3-year-old model that sat idle because you were using other, better performing devices while you could. All adaptive alternatives are slower and force behavioral changes that most people won't make until they must.
We will take a look around Spiro's office a little later to see how he stays in touch and stays creative from the comfort of his power chair. Oh, one more thing, this video was created yesterday, totally hands and voice free, using Synthesia.io as a first experiment after signing up for a free account. Another company, 11 Labs, has similar capabilities. Bridging Voice is working with them and is a great resource.
Great, Sparrow. Thank you so much. Charlie, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi everyone. I'm Charlie Wren, and I'm grateful for this opportunity to share my creative, Eyegaze ALS journey. I was diagnosed with ALS in 2015, with my progression starting in my hands and arms. I've been trached, vented, and paralyzed for 6.5 of those years. I live in a small farm town in Central California. Before ALS, I was a heavy-duty mechanic and a part-time musician. As a mechanic, I was responsible for updating software and programming computer systems for engines, power generation, and emissions. I played the French horn and saxophone for local organizations, orchestras, and jazz groups. I use an older Eyegaze communication device manufactured by Tobii Dynavox, with the classic Windows control program, to operate everything on my device. I've been using Eyegaze for 8 years due to rapid progression. I've shared my experiences at numerous ALS Zoom groups across the United States, helping people with using a communication device, and my experiences living with a trach. This will be my 5th appearance, and teaming with IMALS to participate in Eyegaze communication webinars. I'm thrilled to be here, and look forward to our discussion about the importance of support and education for individuals affected by ALS, and those using communication devices.
Thanks so much, Charlie. And last but not least, Randy, please introduce yourself.
Yeah, you need help? You good? My name is Randy Gregory. I have been living with Al since 2011. I live in Baltimore, MD. I will share more later.
Thanks, Randy. Now that we're done with the introductions, let's get to some of our questions. First question overall is, in addition to communicating with your loved ones, how do you use your Eyegaze technology to express yourself? Charlie will show you his video. Actually, we will show you Charlie's video.
To express myself, I've made YouTube videos, participated in Zoom meetings, everyone, used social media, and done a lot of writing. One of my videos was for Bridging Voices, about writing music using Eyegaze. I've always thought music is a looking glass into your soul. They even gave me a shout out during the Nexus conference. I also made a Star Wars, Yoda video about the force of ALS. I have a few funny synthetic voices on my communication device, and my little creature voice sounds like Yoda.
With ALS, fear is the path to the dark side. Once you start down the dark path of ALS, forever will it dominate your destiny.
These technological tools have empowered me to express myself uniquely. Attending ALS Zoom meetings can be a safe space to express your feelings, emotions, and ask questions. Spending time on social media can do the same. Even though creative writing can lead to eye fatigue, it's another way to express your feelings and emotions.
Christy, should we go ahead and play the video as well on YouTube?
My name is Charlie, and I've had ALS for 8.5 years. I've always loved music, whether listening, creating, or performing, it's been a part of my life. I use a handful of programs to keep my connection with music, even after my progression. There are no music notation programs for Eyegaze, but using your communication device like a regular computer, it's possible. The music writing program I use is a program called Mozart. It's similar to other music notation programs. Here's my attempt to show how to use Eyegaze and write music. I'm using Toby's Windows Control program. Okay, let's open Mozart. Mozart has many options, and a setup screen will appear when it loads, giving you the choice of style, key, time signature, and speed. I enjoy using the Jazz font due to its natural look. Next is choosing the key. Let's keep it simple, and keep it in the key of F. Then select your time signature. 4/4 is a typical time signature, so we'll keep it that way. It means 4 beats per measure, and the quarter note gets the beat. Next is the speed at which you want your piece to be played. 120 is 120 beats per minute, and it's based on the pace of marching. Once the page opens, select the half note at the top of the page. I use my keyboard, move to the keyboard page, and select the space bar to start writing. Keyboard shortcuts are handy when using Eyegaze. Then move the cursor up, select the quarter note, and press the space bar again. You do this repeatedly for every note or rest. You can flatten, sharpen notes, or add dynamics at any point. You can select parts to optimize spacing. And you can write music for piano, guitar, instrumental, or singing. Once you've written your tune, you can add more staffs for other parts. You can write a counter melody, bass line, and even percussion parts. Once you've written your masterpiece with parts, you can play it, so here we go. It might not be a masterpiece, but it's entertaining to write. No composition is complete without a good-looking title. You can add a composer and instrumental parts to any letter font. You can assign different instruments to different parts in the correct key. You can even convert a master score for the conductor. There are many options to modify notes, bars, and the score layout at the top of the page. Here are a few other arrangements I've made over the years using Mozart. Here are a few other programs I use when dealing with music. I use a program called MuseScore. It's another music notation program that works great if you can use your hands. I use MuseScore for ideas from other writers, who make their compositions available to copy or listen to. It's an excellent place to start for free. I also use a free program called Audacity, to record my voice, and edit audio music. It's a wonderful program that can do everything. I utilize a little secret audio setting within Windows called Stereo Mix. Stereo Mix turns your communication device into its own microphone, for recording your voice, music, and become your microphone for face-to-face programs like Zoom. I hope my presentation gives insight into the complexities of using Eyegaze to write music, and give people reasons to use their communication device other than communication.
That was amazing. That was, I mean, who knew you could do all that? That was really brilliant. Thank you so much, Charlie. We also have a clip from Sparrow.
Sorry, it took me a minute to get my tab straight. Here we go.
Check out the setup. That's an 85-inch TV in the converted closet. It's not a male compensation thing, really. The massive screen lets him pick keys with his custom on-screen keyboard from across the room. Working comfortably without a desk declutters the room for the chair. He can write code and design 3D models hands-free. I asked him what motivated this, and he told me.
As a software developer, I'm constantly shifting between Mac, Windows, Android, and iOS. I wasn't satisfied by the products I tried, so my company has developed the device I'm wearing on my glasses, which is currently under test across the country and will be available later this year for users that retain good head and neck control. We call this Kato, and it uses motion, rather than eye tracking, for device control. Later, I'll demonstrate how I express my creativity by designing, modeling, and 3D printing various assistive tech. Right now, take a look at my screen and see how I handle communication and entertainment without lifting a finger. I'll start my day with old school music on Spotify and catch up on sports with the morning paper. Then I'll dive into work with Gmail, Zoom, and my stack of development tools. When it's time for a break, I recline the chair and watch one of the streaming services like YouTube TV for live sports and local networks, or Netflix, Prime, or Max for Hollywood. I don't need the TV remote anymore. I'll handle phone calls and text with Google Voice or FaceTime, and texts with iMessage or WhatsApp. My mobile phone is gathering dust since it's not really needed anymore.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Sparrow. So now that we've given you a few demos on what can actually be done, we'll give you a few more as we near the end of our session for today. But right now, we'll start with the core questions that we have. So the first question is, number one, how did you discover that How did you discover that you could do all this with your device? Charlie.
Speaking with an Eyegaze communication device can sound cold and direct. It takes a lot of experimentation to come up with the right combination. When speaking, I usually use words like please and thank you. So, I don't sound demanding or ungrateful. Finding other ways to express yourself is significant as well. Expressing emotions through your device is hard, but you can do it through videos, painting, social media, and interacting with others. It's essential to type and speak how you feel, and not assume everyone knows your feelings. If you are happy or upset, type and speak it. You can also implement little audio clips into your device when talking to express yourself. This can be done by inserting shortcuts into audio clips while typing to speak. If I'm waiting, I can play the Jeopardy theme. If I'm going through a crowd, I can play the sound of a train horn. Sometimes, when little kids see your condition with ALS, they're afraid. You can break the ice by playing funny audio clips of farm animals or other sounds. These are a few ways I bring creativity and emotions to my ALS journey.
Thanks, Charlie. Question 2. Was there any special training you had to undergo to learn how to use your device for other activities? And was it hard? Back to you, Charlie, number 2.
Like so many others, I had to learn how to use my device the hard way. I used it every day until I was proficient. Then, I tried different ways to use my device. You have to customize your Eyegaze communication device to support your needs. What works for one individual might not work for you, so watch YouTube videos and connect with others using the device. Get connected with organizations like Bridging Voices or Team Gleason. It was hard for me to get everything right, but I did. There's more support now than ever, so use it. I found that these Eyegaze communication devices can be used for much more than just communication. They can be your entertainment center. You can listen to music, watch TV shows, attend Zoom meetings, and participate on social media platforms to stay connected to the outside world. It can be challenging as you advance with ALS, but you can do it.
Thanks, Charlie. Sparrow, how about you?
It looks like Spiro also left a note in the run of show after this question. Spiro, would you like me to read what you left in there?
He said read please, so I think yes. Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah, Spiro wrote, the hardest part for me is learning the quirks of each application, zooming in, rotating, selecting, and how to access them. Or he said, how to access them with the AT. Oh, assistive technology. Yep, okay. It took me a second.
Okay, is that it? Okay, cool. Randy, how about you?
Though I do not believe training is necessary, I would suggest considering trying the training exercises. I believe they would be helpful in learning the ins and outs of Eyegaze and the things to try to avoid. Additionally, I would suggest to consider doing eye exercises, especially those of the focusing nature. My college baseball and firearm experiences as a special agent has been a tremendous help for me. Focusing on the type of spin on a baseball and focusing on the sights on a firearm is a lot like focusing on the letters of a keyboard and the different features in other apps. An eye focusing exercise to consider: pick a spot or area that is away from you 5 feet or more, focus on it for 3 seconds, and then focus on a spot or area that is less than a foot away from you. Go back and forth between the two spots, 10 repetitions, 3 sets. Considering that we have been diagnosed with a terminal disease, Eyegaze is not hard. Thank God for eye vision and the other gifts and senses that we have been blessed with. Over the years, I have found that these gifts have become more keen.
Thank you, Randy. Good points. The number 3, did you always express yourself this way? And this one is for Charlie, so musically inclined, or was this something that started after your diagnosis?
Before ALS, I never expressed myself through YouTube videos or social media. I grew up in the arts, playing music, singing, and acting. That was my way of expressing myself. Sometimes, my wife, my rock through this journey, calls me a drama queen because of my art history, but it's okay. I played music with various local organizations, right up to my diagnosis. It was hard to lose that form of expression, as you advanced with this horrible disease. Luckily, I found a way to keep writing music using Eyegaze. My compositions are simple, and usually little jingles for the local high school pep band. I found making YouTube videos can be fun as well. It keeps you active, which helps you tolerate the pains of ALS.
Thanks again, Charlie. Number 4, is it safe to assume that these add-ons, if you do have an add-on to your device, are truly add-ons? Do any devices come with creative apps? And we're back to Charlie again.
Eyegaze devices come with fundamental communication software, which also contains apps for streaming, social media, FaceTime programs, and phone connectivity. But if you need to push your device beyond the basic programming, you have to install third-party apps. These apps enhance the device's functionality, and can open up a whole new world of creative possibilities. You can install various programs for painting, creating music, or creative writing. You can do everything on a communication device, even gaming. Communication devices are designed for all types of diseases besides ALS. Cerebral palsy, autism, and Rett syndrome, to name a few. Besides the stock communication programs, these devices have a few simple games and learning programs. So, third-party apps are vital for our continued creative usage.
Great. Thanks again, Charlie. Question number 5. What are some app recommendations or device recommendations that you have to help people stay engaged and to be more creative? And we are turning it again to Charlie.
Many apps can be utilized to stay connected and creative. You have Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, or Zoom to stay connected to the outside world. By fellowshipping with others, it can be food for your soul. You can use programs like iHarp, Chrome Music Lab, or FL Studios to create your music masterpiece. You can paint beautiful pictures using Magic IFX, LookLab, or jacksonpollock.org. These are just a few programs for creativity. Bridging Voices has instructional videos on YouTube about these programs and others. You can creatively write using Windows Word, Google Docs, and Grammarly. You can benefit from some of these resources by utilizing their apps for your creative pursuits. What device can express your feelings better? In my opinion, it's up in the air. By testing different Eyegaze devices, you can select a device that picks up your eyes with the best and most user-friendly communication software. Everyone is different, so try them all.
Great, thank you so much. And then we also have Spiro who can answer this question.
Spiro's creative outlet today is using his 3D printer to make all sorts of items. Watch and model Kato's enclosure. Pay close attention to his head movements and facial gestures, please ignore the double cursors. That's an artifact of the recording process.
I use Fusion 360 to design stuff. Here, I'll start with a small circuit board. Add a couple push buttons. Now position the rechargeable battery. With the electronic module complete, it's time to add the plastic housing. First add the battery compartment and then the pretty cap. Take a look around, and when it looks right, we need to prepare the plastic parts for printing by laying them flat. The Bamboo Labs printer builds the case in about 30 minutes. I've skipped several steps, but you get the idea. Thanks for watching.
That was great. Thank you, Spiro. Now we'll talk about some of the challenges in using Eyegaze devices. I know we're on number 6. I know we talked about how to manage eye fatigue in a previous session, but I wonder if you have any more suggestions on ways to overcome eye fatigue and deal with calibration issues. Charlie.
I'll admit that I overstrain my eyes daily by using my Eyegaze. I advise taking numerous breaks to reduce eye fatigue and discomfort. I turn down the brightness of my screen and use eye drops for relief. I use Refresh Cell UVisc lubricant eye drops because most allergy eye drops can have a negative effect, drying your eyes. I utilize my screen's blue light feature filter to help as well. Having the right type and right prescription glasses is a huge factor. Avoid bifocals, and consider getting a computer eyeglass prescription designed for computer use. Using damp paper towels to clean your eyes, instead of washcloths, and using no-tear baby shampoo to wash your eyes can help. Usually, going to sleep at night can repair your eye gaze fatigue, and in the morning, you're as good as new. This advice can help navigate the challenges of calibrating and the complexities of using your device in this eye gaze world.
Thanks, Charlie. Randy, how about you? How do you deal with these challenges?
Eye fatigue is a real consequence. Naps for the eyes are as beneficial that naps are for the overall body. Purposely closing the eyes for a few minutes is my version of a cat nap. Breaks from the computer screen, watching a game or a movie, has been a viable combatant to eye fatigue. A good wandering stare out of the window to the sky and trees beats the computer screen anytime. Drainage from my eyes can be a challenge. Not sure if that is related to eye fatigue or seasonal allergies. A good hearty cry and eye gaze, forget about it, laugh out loud. Thank God for turning frowns to smiles.
Great, thanks so much. Question 7. Can you describe the process of customizing or setting up your Eyegaze system to better suit your needs and preferences? Charlie, can you take this one?
Everyone sets up their device differently. I use my device like a regular computer, so I put shortcut icons on my desktop for quick and easy access. I utilize icons for music, streaming services, online shopping, and writing. I even have icon shortcuts for my fantasy football adventures. You can modify your Eyegaze settings to best suit your needs, so you can do everything on your device. Sometimes, it comes down to trial and error, with what works, and what doesn't.
Thank you. And our final question that we have, for now, that was pre-planned. How do you navigate any environmental factors or changes that may affect the performance of your Eyegaze system, such as lighting conditions or screen glare? And this will go back to Charlie.
Environmental factors can harm your Eyegaze experience, like direct sunlight, glare, and reflections. Things you would never expect to impact your Eyegaze are bright t-shirts, mirrors, windows, and reflections from ceiling fans. My bed is next to a window, and at times, my neighbor's car window reflects sunlight through my window, making Eyegaze difficult. When I'm outside, I try to find shade trees, hallways, or umbrellas to assist in my sunlight challenges. Whatever is in front, behind, or above can make or break your Eyegaze usage outside. That's why it's so important to have backup communication methods, like eye gestures, eyebrow movements, or communication eye charts. Sunlight can be your worst nightmare, but manufacturers are making great strides in manufacturing infrared Eyegaze cameras that work outside.
A big thanks to you, Charlie, Randy, and Sparrow, for taking the time to answer these questions. They were quite informative. Before we begin the Q&A, we'd like to introduce you to some resources available from Bridging Voice. And Nachum, after having sat in on the last 2 of your wonderful webinars and very informative webinars, when I heard like eye health and everything like that, I so wanted to say what I learned from those sessions, but I will let you go ahead. And also, Bridging Voice will also provide you with some demos to show you the various ways that your Eyegaze can be used for fun.
Okay, so I think I was gonna skip the demos. I think we had establish that at some point.
Okay.
I didn't have demos that are ready for today. But what I think that something that is just so important to mention is that, you know, the three panelists today are masters of their technology, and they are just so awesome and have like somehow, I guess, bucked the trend in such an awesome way. And that's why they're so perfect for explaining to everyone how you can do these amazing things, the music, the programming, it's really just, it's beyond what, you know, the norm, and that's amazing. I think it's important to mention that it's equally important for people to take smaller goals, because everyone is really different. Like everyone has mentioned that everyone's journey is different. You know, everyone's tech experience is different. Their goals, the rate of progression. Is someone in the home, in a facility? Is someone running a family? Do they have enough caregivers? There's so many factors that change around the dynamics of everyone's journey that really needs to be taken into consideration. What we find at Bridging Voice to be extremely effective is taking one goal at a time. I think that, like, the example we usually give is a lot of times where a sales rep will come in with either an eye tracking device or any AAC device, and they'll fill up the homepage with 400 things that a person can do, and they're only going to train them for an hour or two on the device, and then they're gone. So usually people don't end up understanding what their device is, how they work, and what they can do. So I think taking smaller goals, doing things one at a time, if someone enjoys music, or even if it's just TV remote control, sometimes that's all someone really wants to do other than communication. We have many clients that either only read their emails or only send emails, which may sound kind of funny, but depending on what someone's capabilities are and what their interests are, that may be the only thing they really need. So it's important to gauge success in people having access to doing the things they want to do and what's important to them. So I think that's like really important to mention. And although we need Spiro, Randy, and Charlie to be our examples of how far we can go, and if someone wants to go that far, let's do it. But be happy with whatever other access you're successful at gaining, you know, in this journey. So, and Bridging Voice is here to help. IMALS is here to help, to make sure that you've got the resources and the help and the support to make it happen. So, yeah. Thank you.
Awesome. We also wanted to share, and Emily is going to put a couple links in the chat for you. Bridging Voice hosts office hours every Tuesday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's open to ALS patients, caregivers, therapists, and allied professionals to join the discussion. They encourage you to bring questions regarding your communication device, app, software, technology, and innovations. Anything and everything related to communication. No question is too large or too small, from what I understand. And then they also have several upcoming trainings that are open to everyone. Preparing for success, what to expect with the communication evaluation. That's coming up on September 17th. And then another one, Every Word Matters, updates in voice preservation, and that'll be on November 12th. And then, like I said, Emily's putting the training links, or the links to each of these, into the chat for you. And I went on the Bridging Voice site earlier today and watched some of their testimonials, and some of them had me laughing and crying. So if you've got a few minutes, there's one in particular. It's two sisters, and they're just hysterical laughing about how the sister learned how to book a trip for them using Eyegaze, and she did all of the things, and it was amazing. So if you have some time, yeah, that last one is a sister's. Awesome. So if you have some time, read that one or check that one out.
All right, thanks. Thanks, Nahum, and thanks, Christy. Like I said, I've attended 2 and will plan on attend more of these webinars. They were so informative. I learned so much. And they're free, you know, why not? So how about we look at some more demos? We have a few that we'd like to show you, more creative ways and ways that people navigate using their device, their Eyegaze device. The first one we have is Randy.
I don't know if we have the link in the, it's not live on the document.
Okay, let me see if I can find that. Can we move on to Scott?
Yep. So I'll tell you a little bit about Scott. Scott has been on our previous Eyegaze panels. Unfortunately, his ALS is progressing, and so he's working on energy preservation, and so he's focusing his time now with spending time with family and friends. In Scott's previous life, he was a restaurateur and owned restaurants. He was a chef. And one of the questions that you had asked earlier, Emily, was the things that you do with Eyegaze now, are those things that you pursued prior to Eyegaze, prior to ALS? And I can tell you, I've gotten to know Scott pretty well. And he uses his device to do amazing paintings, and he never did that before. He said that this has just been such a great outlet, creative outlet for him as a chef. He was always looking for new things to do, be creative in his cooking. So this has just given him that outlet. So there's 2 quick painting videos that I wanted to share. So we'll have Emily share those with you.
And it looks like these videos don't have any sound, so if you don't hear anything,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
normal. Don't worry.
So he has talked about his process. He never goes into his paintings with any forethought. He just starts creating, and whatever comes out of him that moment comes out of him. And he also has a foundation where he's working to raise funds to start an ALS center in Oklahoma, where he lives. And he's currently being featured as a artist in residency as at one of the, I forget the name of the art institute there in Oklahoma. And Emily will share the link to his page in the chat too.
I'll be over at 10, you told me time and again, but you're late. I wait around and then I run to the door. I can't take anymore. It's not you.
So he actually sells these pictures. And I just bought one that we're moving in later this year, and I'm gonna put it up in my office, and I can't wait to get it because they're amazing.
And then are we sharing the Scott Craig Foundation page as well?
She just put it in the Emily
she
just put
did.
it in the chat. Yep.
Okay, okay. Sparrow, we have a demo from Sparrow, or we could do Randy, whichever one is ready.
I don't see a word from Spiro, but I do see ALS inspirational words from Yoda from Charlie. Oh, it looks like we already did Spiro's demo.
Okay. And then did we already do Charlie then with the Yoda?
No, he
earlier?
just did a little Yoda for us. This is a new video.
No, I think the Yoda one you're gonna want to listen to, but the is this the one? Hold on, sorry, Emily's. I don't know if that is that the one that Randy sent you, Emily C.
The one I just shared with you, yeah, and that
Okay.
link.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
that link that I just posted to Emily J. That's Randy's.
I just had to request access.
Oh, okay.
But if you have access already, you could probably, I can give you screen share permission,
No, I don't know if I do. Hold on.
or Emily if you do. Maybe I can't.
Oh yeah, hold on.
I don't think I can make you a co-host for some reason. I think Julie might have to because she's the
Oh,
mega host.
I'm already a co-host, so.
Oh, great.
All right, so here's Randy's.
Okay.
Can you all hear that? Oh, hold on. I forgot to hit share sound, sorry.
I think the video itself is still muted.
Yeah, underneath your cursor.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yep, I hear it now.
Hello, Eyegaze panel discussion participants. Just wanted to share a daily experience with Eyegaze. Thank you. I hope this is helpful.
Thank you so much, Randy. That was great.
And now we can hear the inspirational words from Yoda.
With ALS, fear is the path to the dark side. Fear of ALS leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering. Once you start down the dark path of ALS, forever will it dominate your destiny. Patience you must have with ALS. In a dark place we find ourselves, and a little more knowledge lights our way. Death is a natural part of life. Powerful you have become with ALS. Train yourself to let go of everything you fear to lose. Feel the force of ALS. Do or do not. There is no try. For my ally is the force of ALS, and a powerful ally it is. Its energy surrounds us and binds us. Luminous beings are we. You must feel the force of ALS around you. Here, between you, me, the tree, the rock, everywhere. Yes, even between the land and the sea. The dark side of ALS clouds everything. Impossible to see the light. The future is. To have ALS is to face the truth and choose. You can give off light or darkness. Be a candle, not the night. Difficult to see. Always in motion is the future. Ready are you? A person with ALS must have the deepest commitment, the most serious mind. All ALS life has been locked away. To the future, to the horizon. Heh, ALS craves not these things. In this war against ALS, a danger there is of losing who we are. Clear your mind must be if you are to discover the real villains behind your ALS. You will know the good from the bad when you are calm and at peace. People with ALS use the force for knowledge and defense, never for attack. Soon will we rest. Twilight is upon us. Soon night must fall. When you look at the dark side of ALS, careful you must be. Hear my words. Yoda has spoken.
Awesome, thanks. So now I guess we can open it up to Q&A. If anyone has any questions or comments or anything, just feel free to throw them into the chat.
The chat, Brandy says, well done. Agreed. Round of applause.
I also want to go
Golf
back.
clap.
Yeah, Brandy shared earlier that she uses, you can see my art. Oh, hold on. That was for me. Sorry. She shared somewhere up here that she uses her Eyegaze for creating art. So of course I told her to reach out to Ellen, but she had already done that. Oh, I use Art Rage for my paintings. And then she shared with me, because I was offlining with her, that you can see some of her art on Facebook or Instagram. So I'm going to go check those out.
And then Charlie also wrote, they also have Queen Elizabeth and chipmunk voices. Inspirational words from the chipmunks wouldn't have hit quite right.
we have a very difficult question at Bridging Voice, which maybe someone here can add some insight to. It's a question of, if someone uses a technology like Spiro, if you use a head mouse or a twitch switch, an eyebrow switch, something like that, does that actually perpetuate that ability to go further than if someone starts with eye gaze right away? We haven't, although we've worked with, we're just about hitting 3,000 clients. So, and we really can't figure that out yet, because either someone does go to eye gaze right away, or they go a different path, and sometimes that path goes long term, sometimes it doesn't. Do you have any insight into that? Do you think that it will actually, right? I guess the question really is, do you think it actually makes that ability and that access method last longer?
Charlie said, I first used a kid's tracking ball on the ground and used my feet. And Spiro started saying, for me, the most productive device at the moment. And I'm seeing enough head movement from Spiro that I think he's still typing.
Right, right.
Yeah, so Spiro said, altogether, for me, the most productive device at the moment until those neurons go.
Spiro said, see John Costello on this.
Problem is, every time I see John, we have so much to catch up on. I guess another question for Spiro, do you have a map for what you can do and what you will do if you have to move to eye tracking? Because some of the technologies you're using may be way more difficult to use if you have to move to eye tracking. Right, Angelina, right? That is the very tough, because you can't go back in time yet, right? And redo it. BCI. That's your okay.
For the uninitiated, what does I know, of course, but what does BCI stand for?
Right. Brain computer interface, right? So I guess we're gonna do you a favor and not ask which one. Synchron. So you're not going for the full invasive, okay. We actually, yeah, not sure I'm allowed to share this openly and publicly, so maybe not. Okay. That's probably the second time in my 55 years where I stopped my mouth from saying something I shouldn't have. Okay.
The rest of the times you didn't.
Right.
Spira said neural link waitlist in the chat.
Synchron is really a really nice middle ground. A little more, if we see just a little more success over there, it would really, you know, it sure beats the doorknob on the head, right? We've had a few clients that have gotten Synchron already. And although, and I was so curious about so many things, and I'm not going to say the word thankfully, but two of them right before the procedure had emergencies that they couldn't communicate. So I had to be involved. So I got to get so much good information that way. But wow.
Shall we have a last call for questions?
I think that's a good idea.
Speak or type now or forever hold your peace.
Questions, comments? Is there anything
I will
that,
also, oh, sorry.
oh, that's okay. I was just gonna say, is there anything that anybody heard in today's discussion that they would like to hear more on?
I'm going to be thinking about the comedic timing of Charlie's whole video leading up to being Baby Shark for probably the rest of the day at least.
I know,
Like,
I didn't expect that at all. I love it. I
so
love it. I
funny.
went into that. That was great.
I laughed out loud. It was great. More like we're gonna hear like a classical piece of some kind, and then a very good arrangement of Baby Shark started to play.
Totally.
It's the only time I'm okay with having that stuck in my head.
Yeah, yeah. This is going down in the IAA Hall of Fame for sure.
You guys know that now it's going to be stuck in our head, though.
Yeah.
Thanks, Charlie.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
But you have to do the little movement
Yeah.
too. You can't just sing the song.
All right. Are we ready to wrap, Julie?
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks everybody. And if you have any questions that you want, Charlie just put in the chat, he has a video of me using the 2-letter shortcuts. If you have any questions and you think about it later, you can feel free to email the group. Good night, Brandy. I think is it the right stuff at imals.org would that be a good
Yes.
one? Yeah. Okay. So thank you all so much for coming. And a special thanks to our panelists, Emily, our moderator, other Emily, our maestro, and our special guest, Bridging Voice. We hope you found that this session was informative, learning new ways to be creative with an Eyegaze device, and maybe made you a little bit more curious to learn more. So we'll send out the recording, like I said earlier, once it's available on our YouTube channel. So everyone who registered will get a copy of it sent to their email, along with all the links and answers to any remaining questions that we did not get to address tonight or that come in later. If you missed the first 2 sessions of the Eyegaze panel series, you can find them on the IMALS YouTube channel. And please feel free to share with friends, family, or anyone who you think might be interested. And both Emilys just put things in the chat. Emily J put the link to our YouTube channel, the IMALS YouTube channel, and Emily C put the right stuff at imals.org. So you can email that if you have any questions or comments or any ideas for future panels or anything else you want to know about. So thank you all so much for coming. It was lovely to meet you. And now we will all have baby sharks stuck in our head for the rest of the night.
Thank you. Good night, everyone.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you everyone.